Anyway, somebody sent me this piece on Robert Kennedy Jr. The left is already depicting him as a conspiracy theorist lunatic. So you know what that means? That means he's good for the people. He's not good for the banks and the war guys. You know, like I don't. They do this. The Democrats do this every election. You know, and they're gonna do a big hit piece on him. They're gonna trash him. They're gonna ignore the fact that the guy works for a nonprofit. Holds corporations accountable for polluting the water. They're going to ignore all that. The guy's out of his mind. He's into shapeshifters. No, isn't he saying that, like, he doesn't believe the Warren Commission? I mean, that's not too crazy, is it? He doesn't believe Sirhan acted alone. I can get with that. I love how he's a conspiracy theorist, but I can just, because I'm not running for office, I can say the NBA's fixed, but people don't walk around, you know, right now, you know, they'll trash my comedy, but they don't say I'm a conspiracy theorist, lunatic or whatever. They always fucking do this. Anytime there's somebody for the, you know, I'm not saying who's the best guy or whatever, but like, I love when they do that. You know, and look, you expect it from the right because this guy's a lefty, but when the left is doing it, that's when you're like, so you don't want me to pick him. I see what's going on here. I see what's going on. So I'm going to pick that guy. All right? Because I'm a rebel. You know? I just bought a new black leather jacket, and I'm going to put the collar up, and I don't give a fuck that it's the hottest July 4th in modern history, or whatever the fuck they said, all that scary shit. Whatever. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Somehow, that's what you got to keep saying to yourself. We're going to figure this shit out by staying the course and acting like everything's okay. And then when we can no longer deny that everything is not okay, we will then waste time blaming each other. All right? And then Billy Joel will write a song called We Didn't Start the Fire. And then that's it. And we'll just move forward. Sorry. I'm a little heat exhausted here. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to these shows. I read this book. I gotta tell you guys, every once in a while, you know, I read a book. And then when I read a book, I never shut up about it, do I? Because I'm so proud of myself that I actually fucking read a book. I'd be more proud of myself if I could find my little backpack, my pack for backing. Dude, it was next to me on the Davenport here. I'm staring into my age using old people words. Get your feet off the Davenport. And look at you. Go put on some clean clothes. You got stuff all over your trousers. The fuck is the goddamn book? You motherfucker. It's Man's Search for Meaning, I think. Viktor Frankl. So it was about this doctor, Jewish guy. The guy survives 4 concentration camps and then finds meaning in his suffering in order to be able to move forward. Dude, some of the quotes in this fucking book. He said, there's only 2 races of men. Decent men and not decent men. And every group has both. So there's no such thing as a pure race. And he also said, no man has the right to hurt another man, even if he was hurt. Just shit like that. It's just like, Jesus Christ. I never looked at it that way, you know? Man, I approached the world as a sports fan. But he finds purpose in suffering and all that. It was fucking amazing. Uplifting book. And a quick book. It's only like 150 pages, right? So, you know that's right up my alley. You know, my only complaint, the book, not enough pictures. But so I go to his Wikipedia page, and of course, like, his contemporaries have to take the piss out of him. Going like, well, you know, he wasn't really he was only in Auschwitz for 4 days. It's like, that's 4 days too many in my world. That's 4 days more than me. And then those other ones he wasn't. Well, he wasn't in Auschwitz, really. It's just like, are you out of your fucking mind? The guy lost his wife. The love of his fucking life. He was tortured. He wasn't fed and all that. And he figured out a fucking way how to survive it. You're going to fucking nitpick that? Unreal, man. Is it unreal? I guess it isn't. There's always going to be that, you know. Comic has a great special. There'll be somebody. He's not that funny. All he's doing is this. You know, I guess I get that with the pettiness of show business or whatever. And even politics. But you got to think. You know, if you went to numerous concentration camps, people wouldn't nitpick your fucking stats. This other guy goes, actually, the real hero of the book is actually him. I'm not going to lie to you. After a while, towards the end, I was saying, this guy's kind of gassing up his new, he came up with this new fucking therapy. So he was definitely selling it. But, you know, I'm selling my bullshit, right? We all are. You know, like I drag, you know, Auschwitz, fucking something, you know. Billy Joel can write a song about it. Sorry, I was just in a car and that song came on. It has the funniest lyric I've ever heard. Trouble in the Suez. And it doesn't really rhyme with anything. And I've always been meaning to look up what the trouble in the Suez. That's one of those songs that people who aren't baby boomers fucking can't stand because it sounds like baby boomers whining. And then when you go to the video, it's only baby boomers watching the song, and they're all just sitting there going like, oh my God, like Billy Joel could give like a fucking history lesson. It's just like, he's not giving a history lesson. If I just say Watergate, I can say Watergate, World War II, the Industrial Revolution. I haven't said fucking anything about him, have I? I can't come at Billy Joel. He seems like he went to summer school like me, right? So I got to stick. He did the work. Come on, pass him. Bill, are you riffing about a Billy Joel song from fucking 34 years ago? Yes, I am. I live in 1989. It's my safe space. That's where I live my best life. That was another thing I got out of the book too, was he was talking about how finding true happiness is, you know, it's basically the opposite of what they're selling us. I know this is really old and really fucking hacky. But I see it all the time on like Instagram, and I give into it. You know what I mean? Like, look at that car, man. Wish I had that car. What if I was in that car and I was driving down the street, people saw me in that car? Would they think, wow, look at that old bald orange man in that car. Out of all the old bald orange men out there, he's probably got to be the coolest old bald orange man coming down the fucking street. You know, I give into that shit. And he was just talking about, you know, the purpose of a man is to help other people and ease their pain. And it gets you out of your own bullshit and you're able to fucking move forward. And however you choose to do that. It was pretty profound. At least for me it was. You know. I'm sure somebody's going to write in and fucking break my balls about it. You know, actually, do you know that guy, you know, they always come up with something, either sexual or stealing money. Anyway, all I know is that guy was skin and bones coming out of a concentration camp, and he still lived to be 92. And he takes you through... Did I even already talk about this? That's the catchphrase on this podcast. Did I already talk about this? He takes you through the 3 levels of going to a concentration camp. The first was the disbelief that you were there. Then the settling in, the numbness of it. And then the disbelief, I guess, when you're free, / the guilt when you don't really feel joy because you've lost the ability. You've so numbed yourself to feeling anything just so you can survive. I don't know. Geez, now they're making me feel like the guy was saying he was kind of being the hero of the book, because they get out of the concentration camp and he's walking with this other prisoner, and they get to this farm and the guy's just trouncing the crops, walking across them, and the author's going, hey, man, don't step on that. And he's like, why the fuck do I give a fuck about this shit? You know? I just had 4 fucking years of my life taken away. I lost all my fucking relatives. You gonna give a fuck about these snow peas? And then the author's like, hey, man, like, these snow peas, somebody planted these and blah. Somehow he was able to maintain his dignity in it. And even if he exaggerated, it was very uplifting book. And those uplifting books, they're fun to read, but then it's hard to apply it in life. You know what I mean? Because you just sit there and you walk down the street, and then you got this goofy smile on your face, and then the person walking towards you thinks there's something wrong with you. You kind of have to be a little guarded. You can't be walking around like, hey, how are you? People start looking at you like, I'm good. What's your fucking deal? Like, what do you want? What are you trying to sell me? Nothing at all. I just read an inspirational book. Well, that's good. Why don't you take that book and shove it up your fucking ass? All right, and back to reality. Evidently, we are back outside again.